ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ। ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। ਤਿੰਨ ਵੇਦੀਆਂ ਕੀ ਕੁਲ ਵਿਖੇ ਪ੍ਰਗਟੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਰਾਏ। ਸਭ ਸਿੱਖਨ ਕੋ ਸੁਖ ਦੇ ਜੇ ਤੇ ਭਏ ਸਹਾਏ। ਸਭ ਸਿੱਖਨ ਕੋ ਸੁਖ ਦੇ ਜੇ ਤੇ ਭਏ ਸਹਾਏ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। Alright, so this week what we're going to cover in this week is life before birth, so this birth, human life, and what our internal Rehat should be, so what we're thinking and what we're thinking in our minds, and then the historical developments of Rehat, so how it's come about, what we've got today, and then variations in understanding, so how people view Rehat differently, what we should do now, today, and what the standard, sort of standardised view is for Sikhs, yeah? But really, in a sense, we're going to start properly next week, so this is like more of an introduction again. I'm sorry about that, but next week we start from the birth. Right, life before birth. God made us in His image, which means basically He made us the same as Him. So we had the same gyan or the same level of wisdom as God at the start. Yeah, when's the start? We don't know. Yeah, that could be billions or trillions of years ago. So at the start, He made us perfect and we were one with Him at that point. Now I've written time immemorial there, which means basically we don't know when that was because it's too long ago, because how old is God? That's how old we are. Yeah, so it says there we are God, and we've got an Atma in us. An Atma is basically our soul. That's what God is within us. And we say the word Paramatma. Paramatma means the great soul or the big soul. So if I got my Coke bottle here, yeah, all this Coke bottle represents is our body, our human body. And you know this little piece of air in there, yeah? That's what the Atma could represent in our bodies. If I take the dhakkan off, yeah? I don't want to make the noise now, yeah? But if I took the top off, the air comes out, doesn't it? That air then merges back into the air outside. So all it is, our Atma stuck in his body. And really, Paramatma, he's everywhere. So he's big souls everywhere. So that's how it functions. So really, we've got God within us. And then this Gurbani di Pankti from Guru Nanak, Mil Maya Surat Gawai, yeah? So you got that there, yeah? What that means is, what happened is, we met with Maya. Maya is illusion of the world. So anything in creation is seen as Maya. Anything you see, touch, feel, anything you see, yeah, is Maya. Surat is our concentration, yeah? So if our Surat is perfected, then we're one with God at that point. Yeah, so we met with Maya creation, Surat Gawai, and we lost our way. We lost what our thinking was of our Gyan. Yeah. And what happened is, when we lost our way, we interacted with the world, and what happened is, we created what we call karma or karma. So our karma chakra starts at this point. So God makes us in His reflection. We're put on earth, we're perfect at the point, and what do we do? Yeah, so if you think about Adam and Eve, yeah, it doesn't matter if the story is true or not, that's not the point, yeah. Adam and Eve, yeah, told not to go to the Garden of Eden and eat the fruit. What do? They go and eat the fruit, don't they? So all God did was, He created this system. He created a system of rules and regulations. He didn't judge us, He created a system. And what we did is, when we interacted with that system, an action led to a reaction. So we were told, don't go to that tree and eat that apple. We ate the apple. Yeah, that created a reaction, so that created a result for us. And then what happens is, there's a cycle from that. So if you think we're billions or trillions of years old, we've got all those actions that are built up of the things that we shouldn't have done and how we interacted with the world. Yeah, and then we're now where we are now. So we've got all these karma from Pishle Janam, yeah, millions of lives, trillions of lives, all these things that we've done which we shouldn't have done, and we're still interacting. And what we've got chronic amnesia. Do you know what amnesia is? Yes? No? Amnesia is, yeah, if you lose your memory and you can't remember. So you have a car accident, yeah, and you wake up in the hospital, and your parents are around you, and you're like, who's this? This happens, yeah. So amnesia happens, so people have that. They can't remember who they are. They can't remember who their parents are. It might take them years, and they might not ever remember as well. What we've got is we've got chronic amnesia. Chronic means something that's really severe. So we've got severe amnesia where we forgot that we're actually one with God, because we've interacted with the world on such a level that we've completely forgot who we were. Yeah. So then what we have is we call something called sanskars. Our sanskars are those things which we've interacted with the world, so our interactions. So where you're born, who you live with, who you get married to, how many kids you have, that's all linked to your sanskars of your previous lives. Even you being in this room, sitting in this room, listening to me, this is related to your sanskars. That's how sort of, I don't know the word now. Intricate, sorry. Yeah, intricate, that's the word. Intricate it is, yeah. So it's quite in depth, each karma. We do have free will as well, yeah, but they make us who we are. So I am generally an angry person. I'm a violent person sometimes. Not now, yeah. I've calmed down a bit in old age, yeah. But I still can be violent if I want to be, yeah. But those sanskars have made us who we are. So some people are naturally very political. Some people are very naturally calm and peaceful. And that's a sign of good karma as well, being calm and peaceful. So they've done some bandagi in the past. ठीक है? Now this slide, I know it's quite heavy, especially for the kids. But ask questions at the end, not now. ठीक है? We'll come back to it if need be at the end. Yeah? But this is really important in terms of the whole of the thing that we're going to do, about your whole life and everything that goes on. Alright, so what we have is 8.4 million lives, yeah? So this is like a desi version of this drawing, yeah? So what we have is 3.5 billion years. So you go through 8.4 million lives to get to a human life. Yeah, that's the full cycle. Yeah, so some of us won't go through the full cycle. Some of us might have 7 lives and come to human life again. Some of us might have hundreds of lives. But in total, the whole cycle to get to human life is 8.4 million lives, and it's 3.5 billion years, one cycle. Yeah? Now that 3.5 billion years, if someone's going to question me, it's from Freed Gorta Tika, so that's what it says in there. Yeah, so that's what it comes from, the figure, 3.5 billion years. Now, if we're as old as God, we don't know how many times we've done this cycle. Yeah? Which we are, and all of us are. So we don't know how many times we've gone through this. ठीक है? So this is what we do. But the problem we've got is this. We've got one chance in 3.5 billion years. One chance. And that's this human life. So we've got our boy here, yeah? Isaac, yeah? Mr. Newton. So, apple falls onto his head and he realizes gravity. Yeah? There's a Pankti of Gurbani which says, yeah? Fal poingere bahor na lage dar. Gyani ji, daso. Yeah? Basically, what that means is, when the fruit falls from the tree, bahor na lage dar, it won't again get attached to the tree, ever again. That's the same as this human life. Once you've lost a second, once you've lost a minute in your life, once you've lost a day, you're never getting it back. So this is about the one chance in the 3.5 billion years. No one in this room, yeah, that I know of anyway, has got that much kamai that they know when they're going to die. I could walk out and die now. One chance in 3.5 million years you've got to break the cycle, to get free and get back with God. So out of all these lives, we've got this one chance, yeah. And like Isaac, yeah, the apple falls, it's gone, you can't reattach it, like gravity. We can't do that again. Yeah, and there's a lot of Gurbani the Pankti which say, are you ever going to get the chance again? And actually Gurbani says you're not going to get the chance again. So make the most of it now. So that's the scary part. Yeah, so human life is the only life in which you can actually break the cycle. So human life is the only one which you can get back to God. The other lives, yeah, are basically stuck in a fixed gear. You only eat what your hunger is. You only have sex when it is once a month, whenever it may be, and you just live in that cycle. You don't go outside of your karma chakkar. Whereas in human life, you can increase your food, you can decrease your food, you can increase your sleep, you can decrease it. You've got free will, so you can actually break the cycle as well. Now the problem is we've got jeev bhav. So jeev, yeah. So in Japji Sahib, if you think of the Pankti, sabana jiyan ka ek data hai, jiyan, yeah. A jeev, yeah, or a jeev is a being, yeah, So we're beings, we're like human beings in this life at the moment, yeah? But we've got Jeev Bhav, which means we think we exist when we don't really. So for example, this body, someone would call it Nick, someone would call it Harjinder Singh, Chamkar will keep on talking like a little, yeah, whatever it may be, yeah? But the point is, we have different names for it, so we call that body Chamkar over there. But really, what is it? It's 5 elements, yeah? And it's going to get reduced to 5 elements. Really, Chamkar doesn't exist. What exists is the Atma in him, and that's just Maya, it's temporary, the body. So that's physicality doesn't exist. Yeah, so we think there's 2 that exist. So we think, Chamkar, shut up here, I'll get to the back. Yeah, so we think, yeah, that we exist, and then we think there's 2. So we think there's God's up there, or God's here, and I exist. Yeah, so start a Japji Sahib, give Sachiara Hoye, give Kure Tutte Pal, Hukum Rajai Chalana Nanak Likhanal. Yeah, next body at the end, Nanak Hukume Je Bujje, Ta Home Kahana Koyana. So if we understand the Hukum of God, then we've got no Home. Home is our problem, which is we think we exist. Home, I am, yeah, I exist. Now the problem is that's a duality. So if you go back to Gurbani, what's the first word of Gurbani? Yeah, ik, see, go on. See, ik, you didn't say Onkar, go on. Yeah, that's ik, yeah. If you say Onkar, that's 2, you got duality. Yeah, you got 2 then. Onkar actually means Sabda Prakasha, so it means the creator God, but really he's 1. Yeah, so he's ik. That's where we get into the duality. So we go into the creation part, we think we exist, and we've got some future and some past, and we think we've done all that, and we get then stuck and think that's my car, yeah, this is my laptop, yeah, this is my nephew, this is my sister, my brother. So we get stuck in that. Now the problem is we've been given free will, and through that free will we're messing up. Yeah, we're doing it ourselves, we're destroying ourselves because of that chronic amnesia I mentioned at the start. We can't get back to where we were trying to get back to. Will we ever get the chance again? This is the biggest gamble we have of human life. Will we get the chance? We don't know, do we? So are you going to take the chance? That's the question. Yeah. Now the function of Amrit, if you want an insurance policy, but it should be done out of love and not insurance. Yeah. If you want the insurance policy, take Amrit. Yeah. If you take Amrit and you keep your Rehat, basic Rehat, do your Nityanam and things like that, don't commit any of the budget Rehat before you die, and if you do, retake Amrit, so you've been Baksha. But if you keep your Rehat, the Guru Sahib says he'll give you human life again. So the Guru guarantees you human life if you obey the Rehat. Now a lot of Amritaris I know think just by doing their Satabaniya, getting married, having a milk on the drive, yeah, they're going to Sachkhand. Sorry, it ain't happening. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Yeah, you only get to Sachkhand if you've actually got Jivan Mukti. You might get a day pass, but you're going to get kicked out quite quickly, yeah. You probably spend more time in Alton Towers, yeah, or Draid to Manor than you will in Sachkhand. Yeah, you'll be kicked out quickly. Yeah, but we all think, as Amritaris, we get Hankar and we think, Asi Amrit Shakli, Asi Rehat Rakhdeya, we do the minimum Nityanam, and that's it, we're getting to God. No, you're not, sorry. Koi bhi Gurbani di Pankti insanu dikha do. Yeah, nowhere in Gurbani they say just by doing that you get to God. Gurbani says you have to change your thinking and actually merge one with God and be in his consciousness, or a full Khalsa, which is actually the same as Guru Gobind Singh. Yeah? Now, that's a function of Amrit. The function of Nam Japana in this is to wear off that chronic amnesia. So if you get amnesia, they might give you some drugs. More than likely they'll give you steroids early on. Yeah, to try getting some sort of chemical reaction in your body to make you trigger something in your body, yeah. But Nam Japana is a thing that's going to wear off that memory that you've built up that you think you exist, and that's going to actually then wear that away and tear it away, yeah. So that then makes you start realizing that actually it's all God and it's not just you, yeah. So that's when you start realizing that's the function of Nam Japana. And Gurbani teaches you what to do. So Gurbani is the Sikhya at all times of what to do. Okay. Internal Rehat, so internally. So this course is mostly going to be external Rehat, of what we're supposed to do externally as human beings in this life. What do we do? How do we do it and function? But internal Rehat is the most important. So Gurbani is all about internal Rehat and very minutely focused on external Rehat. So the external does matter, but the internal is more important. So that's why Guru Sahib might not have written Rehatnama as well, because the Rehatnama of Guru Granth Sahib is there. Yeah. So internal Rehat, Sabkas Jane Atma Ki Rehat. Yeah. So know everything to be the Rehat the way of your soul. Yeah? So if you start realizing that God is within you, and you start listening to that little voice that tells you to do the right thing, yeah, then that's when you start getting towards your Atma, and then you start getting more close to Paramatma. ठीक है? Alright, then we've done some of these points here. Naam Japna Bani Padni. Vichar. Vichar is basically thinking about what you're doing in your life and why you're doing it. So if some of you go, let's say the kids in here, yeah, you go to school, what do? You have to practice, you have SATs, you have exams. You have to do vichar, don't you? You have to contemplate what it means, what the question is, how do you get to the answer. You have to do all that, don't you? And you have to practice. Do we do that with Sikhi? Do we sit at home, yeah, and think of what we've been doing during the day, where our mind's been going, and making a list, and try and stop in our mind the next day from going to those places? Do we do that? Yeah? Our vichar occurs on Instagram or Twitter, and then we have to show it as well. We have to take photos or video it. Yeah? But the vichar is what's going to make the shift balance. So the vichar, the actual thinking of what's going on in your mind, and it's actually like a brainwashing exercise. So the vichar is always thinking, I'm not this body, it's 5 elements, it's going to die, it's nashvant. Yeah? I'll go to work because I'm supposed to feed my family, not because I want the money. And then when I go to work, I have to function as a Sikh because I'm representing the Guru. I'm doing it all to please God, not to please anyone else. So you have to change your whole sochni. So someone could be assumed to be the perfect husband and the perfect wife or whatever it may be, but really, internally, they're not actually attached to anything. But externally, they're just acting like that, they are. So that's about the vichar. Now this is all internal to you. Yeah, even in the Rehat I'm reading now, it says like sometimes tell a lie, because telling a lie is better than telling the truth when it's going to hurt someone. And we sort of box off our Sikhi to always try saying like we've got to do it this and we've got to do it the right way and all that. But sometimes actually, even in Dasam Granth, in Charitra Pakyan, Guru Sahib actually done things in trickery a bit to actually help people. So and we do all that stuff for the world, and when it comes to Sikhi we say no, we can't do this, we can't do that. Yeah, so it's not always smooth angles. Yeah, but the vichar is always to get you nearer to God. So whatever you have to do, whatever tools you have to use to get nearer to God, I'll say use them. Yeah, we do fraud with the world, yeah, for millions of things. But if it's to get to nearer to God, then do it. Yeah, Dharam, you've got that, yeah. Dharam is basically righteous principles or righteous living. It's not necessarily religion. Religion is too tied to description, and we can't really put it into words, the word dharam. But it's a right living, so doing things the right way. And why do we do those? To get back to God. Not to please anyone else, not to show someone I've got nangi lattan and end up in Bana today, yeah, and everyone's going to look at me when I walk into the Godara. Yeah, but to please the Guru. Because this is about internal. Yeah. I can go anywhere I like, I can show off, I can wear the biggest dastar, I can wear the biggest kirpan, walk at the front of the divan. But Guru Sahib knows internally what my Rehat is. Guru Sahib knows what time I wake up. Guru Sahib knows how much Nityanam I do. Guru Sahib knows why I'm doing it. And that's the whole point. You're doing it for Maharaj, not for anyone else. If you do it for the world, then you're going to get stuck in the world. It's simple as that. Go after the creation, you get stuck in it. Yeah? We're supposed to go after the Creator. Alright, mind over matter. So we're supposed to then defeat things that we're seeing and feeling and touching and conquering them. And how do we do that? So Japji Sahib, Sunaya Manya Man Kita Paho, Antargati Rath Malanao. So we listen to what Guru Sahib tells us, we accept it, Sunaya, listen, Manya, accept it, Man Kita Paho. Then in our minds, we enshrine it with love. So what that means is you actually do what it's telling you to do. So if Gurbani is saying Amrit Vela Sachna Vadiyai Vichar, we don't turn around and say Amrit Vela ta jad man lag gaya, Amrit Vela ta ohi hai, hor to koi hai hi nahi. But the Mukh Arth is actually that time, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. That's the Mukh Arth. Yeah? So we construe things just to please ourselves. Yeah, but Man Ki Tapa is when you do it for the love of Guru Sahib, not anyone else or anything else. And then what happens is Antargat, internally, Tirath Malanao. So people go to Tiraths. Tiraths are places of pilgrimage where you do Ishnan. So people go to those places to do Ishnan to clean away their sins. But what Maharaj is saying, if you do these things and you actually internally do what Guru Sahib is telling you, clean your insides, which means you're cleaning your mind, because our mind is the whole problem we've got. So sometimes in Gurbani it will say Rida or Hirde, but nearly all the examples are all referring to the mind really, because your heart doesn't exist in that internal sense. That's a physical thing. Yeah, and then Jallo aisi reet jit me pyara visre. Yeah, burn away all those things. Read. Sometimes we can like refer the word as Maryada or Rehat, but really read anything, any acts. So I've changed the art here as well slightly. Jit me pyara visre. So anything that makes you go away from God, burn it, destroy it. It doesn't belong in your life. Nanak sai pali parit jit sahib seti patra hai. Yeah. So Guru Nanak Sahib, yeah, O Preet Paliya, that love is good and accepted, Jit Sahib Seti Patra hai, whereby you will get respect in the court of God, in the court of the Master, Sahib Seti Patra hai. So when we die, Uthe Sacho Sach Hi Nibare Chun Vakade Jajmalya, it comes in Asadivar, which means when you die, you're going to be judged, yeah, and when you're judged, it's on what you've done. Yeah, utte kuch nahi chalna. So no, you can't fraud them, you can't buy them out, you can't sweet talk them. Yeah, basically you have to pay for your account then. Yeah, so that's where the path's going to work. That's where the respect's going to come in. Now you might say, well, how do I do this Nam Japana 24/7? How do I do it? It's not physically possible. Yeah, Nama kahe talochana mukte ram samal. Yeah, so Nam there, Bhagat Nam there, when you're saying to Bhagat Talochan, mukte ram samal. Okay, mukte, and from your tongue. Always meditate on God's name. Now, if I'm going to meditate, I don't have to open my mouth. I could be internally doing it as well. Yeah? Because when you start doing it with your swas and your breath, sometimes the Simran starts going by itself internally in you, or you start hearing the Simran as well. Then what he says, Haat pao kar kaam sab, cheet niranjan na. Yeah? Heart, your hands and pao, your feet. Yeah? Do all things with your hands and your feet. But when you do those things, sab cheet niranjan na. Yeah, but do all those things by keeping God in your mind. Niranjan, Anjan is Sorma. Yeah, not Sorma, is it? What's it? It's not mascara. What is it? Come on, girls. Huh? Eyeliner. Dekha. See, eyeliner. Yeah, so Sorma is eyeliner. Yeah, so it's black. Yeah, Anjan. That's what it means. Eyeliner. Sorma. Niranjan means that God who's got no blackness or darkness in him. Yeah, so God who's devoid of any maya, any illusion. Yeah, so we keep our concentration with him at all times when we're doing all acts in the world, even when we're working, when we're talking, when we're doing anything in the world, we keep our jeet, so we're doing it to serve him. And then if you go to work for 8 hours in a day or 12 hours in a day, if you're doing all that in sort of remembrance of God or in his sort of to keep him happy, let's say, yeah, as your duty, then it all counts as bhakti as well. That's what people don't realise. So all your work then can count as bhakti as well. You can convert that because you're converting the reason why you're doing it, and then it counts as bhakti as well. So you don't have to do 24 hours in a samadhi, but you actually that will help you. So it does work as well, both ways. All right. Now we're going to flip here. So that's the internal red. Now we're going to Bhai Nandalal ji, and this is from his Ratnama. So there's 3 writings by Nandalal ji, and we'll go into them later on as well. But this is from the Ratnama. So now what we're looking at is the forms of the Guru. So how can we think about Guru Sahib? Yeah. So this actually, I've deleted it here. So this is said to be a vak from Guru Gobind Singh. So this is like a conversation between Guru Gobind Singh and Bhai Nandalal. And Bhai Nandalal said, what's your roop, what's your form as a Guru to Guru Sahib? And Guru Sahib said, Teen roop hai mohe. Okay, Sono Nand Chit Laye. Yeah. So I've got 3 forms. Listen to me carefully, Bhai Nandalal. Nirgun Sargun Gur Sabd hai. Kahe to hoye samajh aaye. Yeah. So I've got 3 forms. Nirgun, formless or invisible. Yeah. Now these are very important terms, yeah, because you're going to come across them through your whole life now from this point on, if you already haven't, yeah. Nirgun, formless God, yeah, or invisible. Sargun, God which you can see in front of you in the creation, and then Gur Sabd, yeah, so Gurbani, let's say, yeah. Ek roop tehe gun te pare, yeah. So one roop, one form of God, that's Nirgun, Maharaj is talking about here, yeah, is beyond the 3 forms of Maya, yeah. The 3 forms of Maya, Rajogun, Tamogun, Satogun, yeah. I'm not going to go into those because you're all going to get confused, yeah. But Rajogun, Tamogun, Satogun, yeah. But basically he's saying that one roop, that invisible Nirgun God, yeah, he's beyond those three things, so he's beyond creation, yeah. Ned nigam uchare, yeah, which he's been mentioned to be in existence in many times, yeah. In the earth that I took off, it said in the Veds. Now I didn't know where the hell they got the Veds from in the earth, so I deleted it, yeah. Kat Vyapak Antarjami, yeah. Kat means basically in our series, in our bodies, but also in every atom in the world. Vyapak Antarjami, that God, he exists in everything. So that's how Nirgun exists. That Nirgun God, we can't see him, yeah, but he exists in everything. Pura ho jo jal kat pani, yeah. He's like how when you put water in a pitcher, you can't differentiate where that water's gone, how it's different. So it might be different forms of water, different bottles, whatever it may be, yeah. So that's like how God is immersed in the world, yeah. Rom ashar so lehe hana. So he's like, it's like every hair on your body, he's there, he's in everything. Baat jadarat tum so sat kahe, I've told you the truth, listen to me and believe this. Jo Sikh gur darshan ki chahe darshan kare granth ji ahe. That Gur Sikh who wants to do darshan of me as a guru, go and get darshan of Guru Granth Sahib. Now what you have to remember is, even though this is Guru Gobind Singh saying this, and he might not even given Guru Granth Sahib Guru Gaddi at this point, but Guru Nanak said, yeah, that his Guru was Gurbani. Guru Nanak said that, yeah, Shabda Guru Surat Tun Chela. So that was said by Pehli Patshahi. Panjve Pasha did Sampadana of the Sroop and then slept on the floor. So if you think of it, Guru Arjan Dev Ji did that at Harmandir Sahib. Guru Granth Sahib was always on a takht after that point, even if Guru Sahib was there as well. So Guru Granth Sahib was always on a takht and Bharajya as well, with the Chandawa and everything else. So Guru Sahib saying, if you want my darshan, get it from Guru Granth Sahib. Yeah. So if we go back, so it's three forms, yeah. Sargon in the creation, that's Guru Granth Sahib now for us. Yeah. So God in the creation, in the perfected sense, in front of us is Guru Granth Sahib. So that's where we would give Guru Sahib clothes. We might put the temperature higher or lower depending on the weather or whatever's going on in that room. We might give Guru Sahib food and do bhog to that. So that's Sarguna Upasana. Nirguna Upasana is thinking, I don't exist, nothing exists, and I'm one with God, and that's all that exists. So the Buddhists do that a lot, but they don't explain it properly sometimes. So Nirgun is also Jap Sahib. Nirguna Upasana, the whole of Jap Sahib, is reducing everything in the world back down to one God, because nothing exists. So the whole of Jap Sahib, that's what it does, it's Nirguna Upasana. Now, Tisar Roop Sikh Hai More. So I've cut some of the lines from that, and then we've got to this point here. Tisar Roop Sikh Hai More, Gurbani Rat Jeh Nispur. The third Roop is my Sikhs. But which Sikhs? Yeah? Gurbani Rat Jeh Nispur. Those people who meditate on Gurbani. Rat means meditate. Jeh Nispur. Nis means daytime. Pur means nighttime. So those Gur Sikhs who meditate on Gurbani night and day, they're my third Roop. Yeah? So like we said last week, even if we don't have all the Rehatname and they're not consistent, or some of them are a bit dodgy in places and critical of what we do today, if we've got Nirgun Sroop, that's God, invisible. Visible is Guru Granth Sahib. Tisar Roop, Panj Pyare, or Gur Sikhs Brahmgyanis, even if they're by themselves. So what we've got to follow is what Guru Granth Sahib says to us in Hukamname, and then those Gur Sikhs, because that's our standard of Rehat now. It doesn't matter what people say was done before, that's the Khalsa as well. So that's where we follow, and that's what we are going to follow in this course in a sense as well. We will look at the other things as well. Alright, now this goes into the historical element of the Rehat. Now this might get a bit heavy for the kids, yeah, so just bear with me. Alright, all this is from Pyara Singh Padam's book, which is a Rehatname book. So what Pyara Singh Padam did is he went through all the Rehatname he could find, and then he's listed all of them at the end of his book, and he's put the dates there, and then he's given his view whether if they're authentic or not. So the first Rehatnama he mentions is by Nandalal's. So these are the dates by Nandalal's alive, yeah? So during Guru Gobind Singh's time as well. The Tanakhanama is like basically, Tanakha means punishment, yeah? So it's about what we should do and what we shouldn't do, yeah? The Rehatnama is like sort of questions and answers, so that's what we've just quoted from. The Sakhi is like a story, and it doesn't look like anything that Bhai Nandalal has written in the past, I'm not going to lie. So some people question if it was actually by Nandalals or not, and you won't find it on any of the apps or anything as well. Even the Rehat number you won't find as well. Yeah, you'd have to search for it to find it. So you'll find it in the car number and the Gajala and stuff like that, but you won't find these other two, especially the third one. Now, the second one is by Prahlad Singh, who's a court poet to Guru Sahib. They say he's a court poet, but then when you look at his Rehat number, the authenticity of it is questioned, because he says that Guru Sahib was at Hajur Sahib in 1696, whereas Guru Sahib goes at Hajur Sahib in 1708. Yeah, so that's questioned because the dates don't match up. Yeah, but generally they say he was a court poet of Guru Gobind Singh, so some of that's questionable. By their sayings, Rehat Nama, I've read parts of it. I don't believe by their Singh wrote it. I'm not going to deny that. Yeah, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily mean it was the by their Singh. It was the Panj Pyare by their Singh. It could have been another by their Singh. But for ease of purpose, we always say it's that one. But again, people are not sure, because when you read these, and if you go around reading these documents, I'd say don't bother. I'll tell you the truth. Yeah, it gets too sort of, you're going to get shocked because some of the stuff they're saying there doesn't align with any of our Rehat today. Yeah, by Chopra Singh, living in Guruji's time, it's a long Rehat Nama, but it quotes Gurbani a lot in it. So I think I'm reading that one at the moment by Chopra Singh's. It's quite long again in places. It's very long, but what he does is he actually uses Gurbani the Bhangtiya to actually back up his points of what he's saying, so his arguments, and it's the only one that does that. Or no other Rehat Nama does that. All the other Rehat Nama are just like, you should wake up at this time, you should do this, you should do that. A Sikh shouldn't do this, and if you do, you're going to hell. If you do this, you're going to this, or whatever. So the other Rehat Nama like that. But by Chopra Singh is quite in depth. So he quotes Gurbani to back up his arguments. Yeah, it says he got Shaheed in 1725, so just after Guru Sahib. Again, doubts on the authenticity and length of it, Hannah, because it seems too long, is what they say, that he could have written it all in his own lifetime. Yeah, but again, we want to like some of it nowadays, but generally it's not bad Rehat Nama. Prem Sumara Granth, yeah, it's just, I don't know what to say, to be fair. I'm reading it at the moment. And in the past, I completely dismissed it as a book because I didn't like some of the stuff that people quoted from it. It's very confused, is what I'll say, and very ritualistic. So as an example, if a Sikh mother gives birth to a child, yeah, she should pierce the nose and ears of the kid and put some sona on it, and then 7 days later the mother and the child should do Ishnan in the same place where the birth took place, and then put a canopy up and get some Shastra. It's really obscure, so it doesn't align to anyone's Rehat nowadays. And the sort of accusation by historians is, no one really knows when it was written. Accusation from historians is it's probably written by high caste Hindus, or high caste Hindus who became Sikhs, who were still stuck in their ways of Hinduism. So they tried to internalize stuff in here. And what you have to realize with any of these Rehat Nama, if you didn't have money back in the past, you couldn't write or keep books, or your stuff would get destroyed. So even if you look at Guru Gobind Singh, he might have wrote a lot of the stuff for the Rehat, but he might have just gone all in the Sarsad Nadi. So he might have just disappeared then. But again, this Prem Sumara Granth, it's written, it's very well written, it's very in depth, but you have to question why people have written these things as well, and what their agenda was. So it doesn't align with our practices. And then it makes statements around the Khalsa. If you're a Khalsa Sikh, they should do this, but if you're not, then you can do this. And it's very sort of, it's got no centre ground to it as well. But in parts, like at the start of it, it's very, very good. I'm not going to lie. Like the opening paragraphs and stuff about Sikhian being dedicated to Guru Sahib and Gurbani, it's very good. But then in other parts, it just sort of wavers a lot and very ritualistic. By this Sasang, by this Sasang's Rehat Nama, that's the one that everyone loves. So modern day, every Jathebandi will quote by this Sasang. Everyone will quote him. Yeah. Now by this Sasang, some say he was Shaheed by Mani Singh's son, 10th son, I think they're saying, Hannah. But so it's authored, they're saying, at the end of the 18th century, so roughly 80 years after Guru Sahib. Now by this Sasang's, what they also say is that he actually got darshan of Guru Gobind Singh, and Guru Gobind Singh told him to write the Rehat Nama and gave him the Bhangtiyan. So it's quite interesting in the fact that by this Sasang's is the one that we all believe in now, and we all quote. So there's no question about this things. Even though it's like 80, 90 years later, no one questions that one at all across the board. So there might be something in the story where he did get darshan and he actually did do that. By Sahib Singh, I think it's Muqtanama, and there's another one, I can't remember now. In Sasaki, there's two Rehatname that come in the Sasaki or sections of it. Now what the Sasaki is, the Sasaki means 100 stories. So it's like predictions for the future as well, what's going to happen. So when the Khalsa is going to rule and things like that. Now what happened with the Sasaki is, the sign is written in the 1730s, but it's just a mess. Yeah. What happened is the British went into India, took over the Raj, and then no one knows what the authentic form of the Sasaki is, or if there ever was one. So the Sasaki we have nowadays, they all say the same thing. So if you think of Maharajah Dalip Singh, he got confused thinking he's the same Dalip Singh who's going to set up Khalsa Raj, and he wasn't, because that's what the Sasaki says. So he was relying on that prophecy, and he thought he's the guy, and he wasn't, obviously. Yeah, so that's why he went to Russia, because that's where the Khalsa is supposed to actually come from. Russia towards into India from there. That's where the Dal's going to come from. That's what the Sasaki says. Now the Prem Sumana Granth as well, interestingly, and the Nihangs believe a lot of this as well, the modern day Nihangs, is a lot of people say Guru Gobind Singh's going to come back and finish off Kaljug, and he's going to come as an avatar, and he's going to be called Kalki Avatar or Neklank Avatar, but then Guru Gobind Singh in Dasam Granth says that's Vishnu's Avatar, that's not him. But then these Granths, Prem Sumara Granth, yeah, and even this Sasaki, they sort of allude that it's Guru Gobind Singh coming again and setting up the Raj. Now as Khalsa or as Sikhs, Guru Sahib could be back now within the Sikhs as a Khalsa. Guru Sahib's already set up the Gurgaddi of Guru Granth Sahib, so that's eternal. It's Jugo Jugo Tal. So Guru Sahib's never going to come back and declare himself from back again. Come on lads. Yeah, it's not going to happen, because Guru Sahib would have set that up earlier on otherwise. Yeah, so that's where there's some sort of, yeah, but what happened with the Sasaki, what we believe as a Qawm generally is that the British Janke got the Sasaki and interpolated it, so basically they edited the Granth and made it confused, and really even back in the British Raj, what people say is Queen Victoria has got the original version of the Sasaki, and in there it's predicted when her actual British Empire is going to end and things like that as well. The Queen Victoria, they say that she's got the original copy of the Sasaki, so that, yeah, so during the British Raj, so they knew what it was, and they Janaki then kept it, because it even predicts what was going to happen to them, but they've got the original version, and no one else really knows what the real one is.
Is it confirmed that she's got the original?
We don't know, Hannah. It's like Guru Gobind Singh's Kalagi. It came to the UK during the British Raj, but we don't know where it's gone. I've tracked it, the dates and everything as well, and it's actually in the Doshkanda. So the people who were the adopted parents of Maharajah Dalip Singh, they had Guru Gobind Singh's Kalagi in India. We don't know where it is. So there's things like that. So the British were quite clever in how they operated, and to this day we don't know some of the things that they did as well. Now then this one, the next one, Rehatnama Sej Tariyan Ka, I haven't got to it yet, so I'm not ready yet. But then, it's quite funny, yeah, so the Taksal is addressing like this or not, yeah. It's suggested that by Surat Singh, who's a Taksal Mukhi, wrote this one, but it's then Sej Tariyan Da, so it's not Amar Tariyan Da. Sej Tari is someone who's not Amar Tari, but he's saying it's a Rehatnama for them, yeah. And it suggested that he actually authored that, and he's Sant Singh's father, I think, by Surat Singh was. Sant Singh was a head Granthi of Darbar Sahib as well. Anyway, Sarbalo Granth, yeah, I don't agree with him in this. So Pyara Singh Padma says it's not Guru Sahib's licht. He says Guru Sahib didn't author it. Yeah. To this day, I've not found anyone quote anything from Sarbalo Granth which I've seen as objectionable in any shape or form. So the Nahang Singhs believe Sarbalo Granth is all Guru Gobind Singh's Bani. But if you look at the Takht Sahibs and everything else in our history, Sarbalo Granth actually Prakash doesn't happen, even at the Takhts. Yeah, so Dasam Granth does. But that's not to say I'm shedding any doubt on Sarbalo Granth. I will not do that. Yeah, I'll accept it as Guru Sahib's until someone proves to me it's not. But at the same time, it's got Khalsa Mema in there, so singing the praise of the Khalsa, Khalsa Mera Roop Hai Khas, those shabds are all from there. So it's quite interesting that even Dasam Granth, people have parts which they say Pant Puravanak, yeah, but there's nothing's Pant Puravanak because no one approved anything. So the Guru Sahib approved the stuff. But we all take parts from different Granths and say we agree with that, but we're not sure about the rest. Yeah, so, but really, the Sarbalo Granth, the main thing is the authorship and other things, it's very dubious of how it came about and no one really knows. And the Hajur Sahib Sikhs are the only people who say it was there, the Hajur Sahib, Guru Sahib wrote the Granth. and even the katha of it, and even the translations of it, we're very limited in our gyan of it overall as a qawm. But again, I'm not saying I shed any doubt on it myself, yeah, because I won't do that because I don't see the point, yeah. Poet Sant Nihal Singh, he wrote something called Sikh Prabhakar, which sings the praise of the Khalsa, and he's written during Maharaja Ranjit Singh's reign, so during his Raj. So that's another one. Baba Samir Singh, head Granthi of Patna Sahib, he wrote something called the Khalsa Panch Sikha, yeah, which sings the praises of the Khalsa. That was printed in 1863 in Benares, yeah, by Budh Singh Khalsa Shatak, 1876. Now, overall, the way you got to view it, at the start it's by Nandalal from Guru Sahib's time. At the end, it's 1876. So that's from 1708, yeah, to 1876. That's 170 years. The Rehatname. Yeah, that is everything, yeah. No, not really, no. Yeah. Now, like I said before, by this, saying is accepted and quoted the most, and that's at the end of the 18th century. That's nearly 100 years after Guru Sahib's time as well. So the Rehatname were written with an agenda for these Guru Sikhs as well, to say if we don't write it now, we're never going to have it. So there was actually an agenda for these people, but then it's whatever you believe. So if you think of it today in the Sikh Qawm, we've got Nanak Sahib, we've got Taksal, we've got AKJ, we've got 3 Nahang Dals, yeah, we've got the SGPC, we've got Sikh Missionary College. Is there anywhere any sort of conformity? Not really, is there? Yeah. Now, in the same way, in the past, get this out of your heads, yeah, this romantic vision that everyone did everything that the Guru Sahib said. No, they didn't. Guru Sahib's own children went against Guru Sahib and tried to kill the Gurus. Yeah. So, don't think there was conformity. The Gurus tried to implement conformity, but people never listen. Yeah. So they will always, people as human beings, we will always propagate something that we believe to be the truth. And that's what also exists within the Rehatname. So that's why there isn't a consistency. Then you have to decide who you're going to follow and who you're going to listen to and who your inspiration is. That's what it comes down to in the end of the day. So that's where your bhavana comes. But the whole point is, wherever you take Amrit, doesn't matter what jatha it is, but you do what the Panjabiyadi tell you to do. That's where your Kalyana comes from. Alright, now, this is where it gets more complicated. Alright, on the left, yeah, these are all historical Granths or Pothiyan. So these are books which are written about Sikh history. So these are not the Rehatname, but these also obviously include information which forms our earth or our practices.
You read supremacy.
Yeah. So the first one, Hana, is Sri Guru Sobha, Hana. That's by someone called Senapati. Yeah. Now Sri Guru Sobha, I was quite interested when I picked it up because I was like, this is actually, no one questions that he existed in Guru Gobind Singh's time. Everyone accepts he lived during that period and he's written this Pothi. But the funny thing is, it was only discovered in the last century by Akali Kaur Singh. So everyone accepts that the Pothi is from Guru Gobind Singh's time period, but it's only found in the last 100 years. So it's quite interesting, but it doesn't really say anything about Rehat. So it doesn't actually clear up anything. So the Rehat section in there is just quite bland, yeah, you Sikhs, Naam Japo and things like that. It's nothing in there, and I was distraught when I read it, because I was like, you find something that everyone accepts, and then there's nothing in there. Yeah, it's about the battles of Guru Gobind Singh, but then even the battles, this is quite funny, because he gets the names of the Samjad wrong in the battle section as well. Yeah, and no one questions that part as well. Yeah, so it's like, it's a good grant, it's not a bad grant, and he talks about the battles, but it doesn't really give us anything more than we already know. So that's why I was quite disappointed, in the sense that it's accepted. Then you got these other grants, yeah. But what I'm going to do, look, that's from 1741, let's say, yeah. They're saying the Sri Guru Sobha. So after Guru Gobind Singh, so the timeline goes down the years, yeah. Now these grants I've never read myself. Guru Ratnamal, Guru Bilas, Bansavali Nama, Mehma Prakash, Guru Kiyan Sakha. Yeah, Guru Bilas. No, what these are actual grants that exist. So these are history books that exist. No, you don't get it. What it is, basically, Sikh intellectuals and historians all accept these were written in these dates. Yeah, it doesn't mean that they're right. What they've written is right, but these were written in these dates. So that's why we've listed them here. Yeah. So this again is from Pyara Singh Padam's book, where he's listed them. Yeah. Now, so for me, yeah. So you got Sheed Bilas there. Yeah. Singh Sagar, Sri Guru Prant Prakash. So the two most famous ones are actually number 10 and 11, which is 1841 and 1843. So that's literally 130 years after Guru Sahib. So the one that Nahang Singh's modern day, Nahang Singh's Buddha Dal, love is Ratan Singh Pangu's Pant Prakash. Because in there it says you can eat bang, you can eat meat, and everything that they want to do. So they love Ratan Singh Pangu. So that's what they're going to quote to you historically all the time, all day long, yeah? So they're going to quote that. That's their choice, Hannah. Then the next one is Gur Pratap Suraj Granth by Kavi Santokh Singh. Now that is basically all of Sikh history of all 10 Guru Sahibs. But again, even Suraj Prakash has got loads of dodgy things in there. So the Kathavachaks have to say, we don't agree with Kavi Santokh Singh at this point, because we don't agree that Guru Gobind Singh actually chopped off Bakre and gave the Amrit to Singhs, because Kavi Santokh Singh writes that about the Bakre. So there's a lot of stuff in even Suraj Prakash which is questionable, but it's the most comprehensive account, and it's written in poetry form. Yeah. So really, like these other, apart from Sri Guru Soba, these other 9 Granths are not very prevalent in our Qawm or very easily accessible. The other 2 are now, yeah. And then you got some others afterwards, Pant Prakash, Gyani Gyan Singh, and then, so again, if you look at the timeline, 1740 to 1880, so from 30 years after Guru Sahib, all the way to another 150, 170 years, But then what you have to do is you have to compare it to when these Granths were written and what was going on in Sikh history. So that's why I've done this on the side. So if you think about after Guru Sahib, Banda Singh Bahadur comes to Punjab, sets up his Raj almost immediately, takes off Samana. Yeah. So in 1708 he does it straight away. He rules up to 1716. Yeah. Bhai Mani Singh gets Shaheed in 1737, 1738. It's sort of debated, but he gets Shaheed, yeah. Now, so the first Granth on this list is written around Bhai Mani Singh Shahidi. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't matter, Guru Ratanwal, don't worry about that, yeah. But it's a Sasaki, yeah. But the thing is, the point I'm trying to make is, that's written 30 years after the Sikhs have been hunted down. And Bhai Mani Singh's told the Sikhs not to come to the Darbar Sahib before Diwali because they're going to get slaughtered. So the Sikhs are actually under threat at that point. So who had time to write a Granth, yeah, at that time and date, and then keep it secure and not get it meddled with anyone else, So this really throws questions and everything. Then Ahmad Shah Abdali, yeah, so the Sikhs in these periods, the Darbar Sahib even gets taken over. So in these periods of history, the Sikhs sort of running between jungles and coming back out, and running in jungles again and getting hiding. And the Vaddaka Lukara happens here. So 20,000-30,000 Sikhs, nearly the whole of the Sikh population gets wiped out in a day. Now in 1783, the Sikhs conquer Delhi. Yeah. So this then goes back to that period, which is Gurbilas and these Granths here. But then 1799 to 1839 is Maharajah Ranjit Singh's Raj for about 40 years. But the Sikhs, the Missals, had some Raj here as well. So that really relates to the period of Ratan Pangu's Pant Prakash and Kavi Santokh Singh Suraj Prakash, Maharajah Ranjit Singh's time period, really, because they would have obviously started writing the Granths earlier, and to actually complete the book takes quite long. So those relate to that time period. And then you have the Sikh Raj annexed by the British. So the British rule India, well, Punjab especially, for about 100 years. But during that Raj, we have the SGPC come formulated. Yeah, so the modern day committee in India who runs all the Godre, Shomani Godre Appointment, the committee. So they come to being during the British Raj. So this is the last slide now for today. So what does this all equal? Modern day Rehat, or modern day Khalsa interpretations of the Rehat. Damdama Taksal. Yeah, the argument is Guru Gobind Singh gives Santhya at Damdama Sahib. Baba Deep Singh and Bhai Mani Singh are given duty to actually teach the Santhya after that. Baba Deep Singh writes 4 more Sroops himself, Hathlicht, which are still accessible in the world. And their argument is that Damdama Taksal has an unbroken lineage of Jathadars to the present day, up to Baba Thakur Singh. I don't know about this dodgy one now, Hannah. But anyway, yeah. So I don't know about Mr. Duma, yeah. But anyway, so up to this day, unbroken lineage. But people question that and say, how did that happen? Because the word Damdama Taksal doesn't actually exist until this century. So the word Damdama Taksal, or the name of the Taksal, got prevalent in this century. So what they then do is, in books and other publications, they call the Taksal Jatha Pindra. And their argument is that Sant Sundar Singh, yeah, this is a Sant who did about 100 or 120 Akhand Paths in one seating by himself. So he did 120 Akhand Paths by himself, all 48 hours without any break. Yeah, so this is Sant Sundar Singh. Yeah, so they argue that Sant Sundar Singh was a liar and made up this lie that this Taksal actually doesn't exist and all these Jathadars have just made it all up. Yeah, so they then call it Jatha Pindra because actually the Taksal name of Pindra Wale comes from Sant Sundar Singh because he was at Pindar Pend. Yeah, after Pindar Kalais. So they then argue that actually the Taksal doesn't exist and it's all a lie. So Sant Sundar Singh, Gyani, Sant Gurbachan Singh, Sant Kartar Singh, Sant Janal Singh, Pindar Wale, they're all liars. So they then call it Jatha Pindra. Yeah, now this exists in our Qawm and you'll see it in publications and in books and stuff as well. So they then refer to the Taksal as Jatha Pindra because their argument is the Taksal leaders are all liars and they've lied about the Taksal actually existing. Now, what you get in Sikh history is something called Gyanyadi Sampradaya, which is actually the Taksal. So all Sikh historians agree there's something called Gyanyadi Sampradaya, which is actually the Sampradaya or the school of becoming a Gyani, which exists in Sikh history. So they all agree that he existed. Now when you look at Sikh history, what happened is the Taksal Mukhis, like after Baba Deep Singh and Baba Gurbakh Singh, they're not that famous, or because the Sikhs are hunted down, they go into jungles and stuff like that. So the Taksal might not have existed in terms of being a Jathabandi or anything like that. So it might have been 5 Vidyarthis with a Sant, or it might have been a father and a son. But it doesn't mean that the actual Vidya didn't carry on. Yeah? But then the problem we've got is if we agree that they're all liars and they all made it up in the last century, then actually what Guru Gobind Singh gave when he gave the Santya at Damdama Sahib, we have to then agree we've lost all that Vidya. We have to agree that we've got none of that history, we've got none of that way to do part, and everything we've created since then is a lie. That's what we have to agree on. So then we have to agree on actually we don't know what the hell we're doing since this day. Now the problem we have with all of this is when you look at all the Rehatname like we've done today, you're going to have to accept that the oral tradition exists in Sikhi. The oral tradition is I teach my children teach my children, and it carries on through that. So it might not be written down, but it carried on generation to generation. And we kept the Parampara alive by teaching our own children how to do Seva in Panj Pyare, how to read part and stuff. So the real Khalsa might have been actually hunted down, so they didn't have time to write the Pothiyaan and the Granths because they're too busy defending. Yeah. So then you can accept that this actually occurs. But any Jathabandi who doesn't agree that happened, so all our Sikh is modern because we've all made it up in this century. So we've got nothing which is authentic because actually you have to agree then. Anyway, so that the prevalent view in the UK is the Taksal view in terms of all Amrit Sanchars and all Jathabandiya. Because if you look at it, all the Sant Sampradaya, they all believe in the Taksal anyway. So that's the prevalent view in a sense. So it doesn't matter where they're sitting. Apart from the south of the UK, London and stuff, the whole of the rest of the UK actually mans the Taksal, not necessarily as an organisation, but when you go into the Rehat and the actual instructions of what the Taksal believes in, that this is what Guru Gobind Singh's Rehat was, you'll actually find that that's the prevalent one. And even the Amrit Sanchars in the UK, most Amrit Sanchars are done by the same number of sort of Jathe of Panj Pyare across the UK and Europe. Yeah. Then what we have is the Buddha Dal and Tarna Dal, which we call Nahangs now. But really the word Nahang wasn't referring to any Jathabandi. Really, we were all Nahangs. That's what we were as Sikhs. But all that's happened is they were organised into 2 Dals, the youth and the older people. So they called them Buddha Dal and Tarna Dal. And from what happened from there is it sort of became a shark of the Qawm. So the Nahangs wear bana and do certain things now. But really, we were all Nahangs. Yeah. And then what happens at Hajur Sahib? Guru Gobind Singh passes away and the Sikhs literally leave after Guru Gobind Singh passes away. No one wants to stay there because the south of India, it's not Punjab, no one wants to stay there. So everyone really leaves. And then what happens is the locals, they're there and they have influence on Tak Sahib. And what happens at a certain point is the Buddha Dal go there every year or whatever, 6 months, and go and do a Shoni there. So where Guru Gobind Singh used to stay was actually at where Langar Sahib Gurdwara is. Guru Sahib used to stay at the back of there really. So the Langar used to be at Langar Sahib, but the Guru Sahib used to stay where the Nahangs have got this tree, but they've knocked it, it's gone now, the tree has. So where Guru Sahib used to tie his horse, it's gone now, there's Nishan Sahib there, so even the tree is gone now. But there, at that point, so Guru Sahib used to have the Diwans there, and where Tak Sahib is, that was actually created afterwards. But what happened there, if you go to Nagina Ghat and Langar Sahib at the back, where before the Nahangs got there, there's like a little circular building in the middle of the road. And what happened was, the Nahangs went there, because they used to go every year anyway, or whatever, however they had their system going there, and they got into an argument and dispute with the Singhs of Hajur Sahib, and they got into a fight, whereby 2 people were killed on each side. Yeah, and the Buddha Dal Singhs threatened them and said, we're going to kill you all, we're going to bring Singhs from Punjab, we're going to kill you all, we're going to kill all your families. Yeah, so what then happened is, then they called a truce, and when they called a truce, they basically became integrated. So what we have today at Hajur Sahib is actually Rehat of the Nahangs implemented at Takht Sahib. So we'll talk about this later, but basically Takht Sahib is the Rehat of Nahangs really. So it became integrated. So some people will say that's the authentic Rehat anyway, but really I think a lot of it hinges on that dispute between the Buddha Dal and the Hajuri Sikhs at the time. So I think that's where it got integrated, the Rehat did, of differences and stuff, but that's what happened, and an alignment happened at that point. Now, modern day, Shomni Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee comes about, gets created during the British Raj. And in 1945, a Rehat Maryada is created, which is called the Sikh Rehat Maryada. Some people call it the Akal Takht Rehat Maryada, or some people say it's the Panth Paramanak, which is the accepted Rehat Maryada of the Qawm. That's what some people call it, yeah. What you have to realise is, for the first time ever in Sikh history, we had elections. Because the British said to us, if you want to set up a committee, you have to have elections. To win an election, what do you have to do? You have to buy votes. Yeah, if you can get people to vote for you, that's all you got to do. That's where the power comes from, is the vote. So if you can buy people out, you can buy allegiances, that's what happens. So for the first time ever in Sikh history, we had an elected committee. And look at all the election problems we have across the world. Guru Sahib actually set up a system whereby you select Panj Pyare to make any decision for you as Guru Roop. Guru Sahib didn't set up no democratic process of elections. So for the first time ever, we had a democratic process because the British. And then on top of that, Shomni Committee, when it was made until this day, is instituted through the law. Yeah. So even today, the DC of Amritsar can walk into Shomni Committee and say your committee doesn't exist, and bang the committee. When they have the elections, the Shomni Committee executive have to go to court and swear in to get elected. So even today, if we think the Akal Takht Azad, you have to go to court to get sworn in. Yeah, and then those people who are sworn in then appoint the Akal Takht Jathadar. They appoint the Jathadar, and the Jathadar is then someone who's on a salary, who's employed. He's an employee. He's got line managers. He's not free. Yeah. So then we have this problem with this Rehat Maryada. Their argument is, and a lot of the Jathebandi across the world now, it's the Panth Paramanak Rehat Maryada. It's what we should all follow. It's the Akal Takht Rehat Maryada. Now, if you think it's Akal Takht, what does Akal Takht refer to? Akal means immortal. Takht means throne. Immortal throne. But Guru Har Gobind Sahib moved the Akal Takht to Kirpur Sahib. Does anyone know that? There's a Gurdwara called Takht Sahib there. So the Akal Takht actually exists where the Sikhs, the Khalsa resides as well sometimes. It doesn't have to physically exist in that building. The Amarat as well sometimes. Tikya, Maharaj built the Akal Takht in Bunga, but Maharaj moved it as well. So, in terms of Panth Paramanak, what they argue is, and now the thing is, the idea of the Rehat Maryada was very good. You cannot question that. So they tried to make a standardised Rehat, whereby everyone would follow the same thing. So over a number of years, from the 1930s, they supposedly went round, got all the Qawm leaders round together around a table and discussed the Rehat over 15 years, whatever it was. But in the end, no one approved it. All the Shomni Committee did was said it's approved and implemented it. Yeah. Now the other problem with it is that when you read that Rehat Maryada, there's no references to any Pratan Rehatname. There's no references to Gurbani in it at all anywhere. So it's a very dry document. Then, so people say to us, you should follow the Panth Paramanak Rehat Maryada. You should follow that. Fine. He says you can eat meat. Does Gurbani say you can eat meat? Gurbani kitne ijazat dindi? Yeah, we're going to where you're allowed to eat meat, but overall you're not allowed to eat meat. That's the ruling of Gurbani. And then the Rehat Maryada says you can't put jyot on. If you get Sikh, it's manamat. So like in a jyot. In Darbar Sahib, in the complex, in the Prakarma, you have jyot in 5 places. So they can't implement their own Rehat Maryada in their own places. In the Rehat Maryada, it says that taking your ashes or your parents' ashes or someone who dies, it's manamat to take your ashes to Kirpur Sahib. Yeah, so it says actually against Sikhi to take the ashes to Kirpur Sahib, where Guru Sahib put his ashes in the river that's there. But then the Shomni Committee runs the Gurdwara at Kirpur Sahib under their management, and they accept people to come there and do the ashes and write their names in a register there and take the money. So if we're saying it's Bant Brahmanic, they're not implementing it themselves, and then they try getting us to implement it. Yeah, so it's very confusing. So we've got all these factions. So what we've got, and then at the end we've got Khan Kirtan Jatha. Khan Kirtan Jatha believes in a different Kakar at one point. Yeah, believes in that sometimes that their Amrit is superior to other people's because they'll give you Amrit again if you take it from another Jatha. Yeah, so you got those things going on. But then 1900s is when Baidantir Singh comes to prevalence, passes away in 1961, I think. Yeah, so the Khan Kirtan Jatha came around in this century. So they can't then argue that their Rehat is from centuries ago. Baidantir Singh might have known what it was because he was Kamayala Gursik, a lot of Bandagi. So what we've got in essence in terms of modern day Rehat, yeah, some of the Khan Kirtan Jatha Singh say we believe in the Akal Takht Maryada and we push that, but then they don't agree with half the things in there anyway. So that goes out the window. The Buddha Dal then says we agree with the Taksal and everything apart from meat, yeah, and we want a bit of bang here and there, yeah. So you got no real sort of agreement anywhere. Now the beauty of the Shomani Committee was they tried their best to get agreement, to get everyone on a level platform. But what happened during that process is we went about and decimated anything which veered out of our sense of sort of a closed off Rehat. So what we call this now, what we've got today, is sort of Tat Khalsa Rehat. That's how sort of historians refer to it. So it's like we've sort of tried to box off Sikhi. So you've got things and Sampradaya like the Nirmale or the Udasis, which don't get a mention in any of this, yeah, but they're actually Bant Brahmanic from Guru Sahib's time, and they've got a lot of deen of what they've done for our Qawm, yeah. So those things don't even figure in any of this. But what we've done is we've tried to put it in like a rules and regulations book. But when you go back to actual Rehatname, actual Maharaj Swaroops, there's diversity in everything in Sikhi, yeah. And the whole point of Sikhi is there's 1430 yang for one simple reason: it's diverse, because we're all diverse, we're all different. And we've got different ways of thinking, we've got different ways of practicing. The whole point is get back to that one. It doesn't matter what Rehat you practice, the whole point is to get back to God. That's the whole point to it. So nothing else matters. It doesn't matter where you take Amrit, it doesn't matter what you believe in. The whole point is to get back to God. It's not that you just Bandhi is better than anyone, you got better Rehat. Because the person who's got the best Rehat is the person who actually gets back to God, not anyone else. Yeah. So even Baidantir saying, people like him sat in Kirtan for 72 hours. Sant Sundar saying, like I've already said, the Khanpats, how many Khanpats by himself? Yeah, he's labelled as a liar. Yeah. So this is what's going on in terms of our modern day interpretations. So that's where, in terms of history as well, what we've got is there. But this is where we are now in this century. This is where we've got to in terms of our development.